Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from second group and we will explain about how to be a good learner. For the first, who is good learner and why is it difficult for us to describe it? Good learner is not anyone who is smart and nerd. Having good learning skill are different than just having smartness and intelligence. You may have smartness, intelligence, and good remembrance, but only having that skill not makes you a good learner. So, good learner is not uh, anyone who has smartness or intelligence. For for example, Cici is good learner because she always do her homework, or Zhao is good learner because she always go to library to reading book. Not like that. Now, what makes anyone can call as good learner? Okay, next slide. Many factors need to be taken into account when considering the qualities of good learners, because each student brings a unique personality to the classroom. It is often difficult to assess the factors involved. It's why we difficult to describe it, because every student have different qualities of good learner and have different ability.
I want to explain about characteristic of good learner. The first is hard work. Hard work is the important characteristic of good learner because no matter how talented, no matter how intelligent and smart you are, hard worker in a proper direction can beat this all. So if you want to be a good learner, don't give up and don't complain, just hard worker. Okay, the next is curious. One of the most important characteristics of good learner is curious. They are always curious about learning new things. They believe that learning is not a destination but it is a journey. They are always hungry for new knowledge. They search quite a lot, they ask quite a lot, and they read quite a lot. Albert Einstein said that I have no special talent, I am only passionately curious. In the next decade, good learner believe that learning anything new or achieving any skills require a lot of dedication. Good learners are always dedicated in their work. Next is not quitter. Good learner is never quiet. They ever also stuck in some point. They also get frustrated. They also face failure. They also face a lot of insult. But the one thing they never do is quieting. They work hard. They find new path. At the end, they achieve what they want in life. The next is patient. Being good learner have to patient because learning spend a lot of time, effort, and have to hard work. So being good learner must always be patient to achieve one goal. In the last, responsible. Good learner have to be responsible. Responsible with their choice, responsible with their way. They have to be responsible from start to finish. How important is the student motivation? Every student have motivation to learn. It is clear that highly motivated students do better than ones without any motivation at all. From that, we can conclude that students were highly motivation, they really want to learn, and they had powerful reason for doing so, including of course a fear of failure. Teachers have main tasks to provoke interest and involvement in the subject even when students are not initially interested in it. Teacher can only encourage by word and deed. But the most very important, real motivation comes from within each individual, not from other people. Most very important is real motivation is come from each individual, not from other people.
Okay, I will explain about the next slide is what the characteristic to do good classroom learners share. And the first is a willingness to listen. So good learners is listen to what's going on and just not to give a sense, pay attention, but also is soaking it up with intelligence or endurance. And the next is the willingness to experiment. And every student is not to think that what is it, not afraid to have a goal, but also she prepared to take a risk or to do thing what is it, try things out and others, or to use the language by that loudly or quietly. And then that's in the important one. And then the willingness to ask question. So every student, if there is or problem in they don't understand about something, so can ask and or give a question to the teacher to give the or explain about the problem or the mistakes. And so the a good teacher is frequently to prepare to give the explain or give understanding to the student, and the student also have the feedback judging when is it there is appropriate to do so and when is it help. And that is about the feedback between the student and between teacher and student about the expression on anything. And then a willingness to think about the how to learn. So there is every student have to what is it have best way to learn something. It's like if in the classroom she have a note to write some vocabulary or new some vocabulary, and or if there is a note, important notes she write in the books and others. And the next in the last is the willingness to accept correction. So every student good learners must prepare to be corrected when it helps, them. So and what is it? Give the response when the teacher give the correction to student. So the student must be prepared to give the feedback to the teacher, how to responses to correction so that they can act accordingly. That's all of the characteristics how do good learners in classroom. That is the I think all of you have the best what is it or best way to be good learners. For the conclusions, all of the students have best way to be good learners in classroom or another classroom in other classroom. But for the important thing is must be active to ask question or active in discussing when the teacher give some problems. So give the active to be give the argument and another. And so don't be late or into coming in classroom. So give a pay attention in the teacher on teacher. And this is the how to become good learners is that's the conclusion about the how to be good learners. Okay, thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.